صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. ثانية على حب الحسين. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. ثالثة على حب الزهراء. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أبناء الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To stand up here is one of the most beautiful things anyone can experience. And this podium, alhamdulillah, has allowed me to travel, to see beautiful faces, to enjoy food, coffee, drink, break fast with brothers and sisters like yourselves. But it's the podium of Imam Hussein alayhi salam that brings this unity amongst the hearts between us. And as we commemorate the days of Ashura, as we relive the event, the heart should be nourished. The heart should come alive. You should come alive. The spirit should ignite. Why? There's a sense of responsibility that we all have and we need to have. And we all must make our mark in history, because Imam Hussein alayhi salam signed history and he sent the message to you and to me. And now it's our time in this beautiful place to relive the events so we can connect our own heart to principles of understanding and thinking and feeling, where you become something different and you allow yourself to grow. You develop, you push, the courage is there. So now, before I begin anything that I'm going to talk about, I need one volunteer. I need one person to show me courage. I need one person to stand up and show me that they have courage. And hopefully, let's just have it from the males. Some of you are smiling, some of you are talking in your own mind. What is going to happen? I don't know. Should I volunteer? Should I not? Some of you might be scared, but the mind is talking to you. It's telling you, please don't look at me. Don't pick me. Because if one of you doesn't stand up, I'm going to pick someone. Can I get a volunteer? One person to help me. I need help. One person. One person. One person, brothers. All right, we got one. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. What's your name, brother? Abbas. MashaAllah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. All right, brother Abbas. Thank you for volunteering. Just stand up. Stay standing. Now, all of us, we're all going to just look at Brother Abbas for about 30 seconds. So everybody, turn your attention to who? To Brother Abbas. Ready? Go. I'm going to time it. So everybody just look at him. You can smile, you do whatever you want. You're the center of attention. time starts to pass really slow, doesn't it? Just stand there. Almost done. Brother Abbas, I have a few questions for you. But it's not for you. How does it feel to stand alone? You feel awkward. Doesn't it feel awkward? But I want to talk to the rest of us. In this 30 seconds that just passed, why didn't any of you stand up with Brother Abbas? Why? What is the reason? One of you stand, please. Another person just stand. Another person just stand. Stand with him. Can another person stand, please? MashaAllah. 2 other people. How does it feel now that others are standing with you? You feel a little better, don't you? Can I get more people to stand? Please, all of you stand. Everybody stand. Okay, we're all going to stand with you now. This is what Muslim Ibn Aqil went through. These are the nights that we have to relive that emotion. That's why we recommemorate Ashura. Because to stand alone is difficult. But when you have unity like this is where power comes from. This is Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You guys can sit. Thank you. Brother Abbas, you can stand. I'm joking. Stay. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay. Muslim Ibn Aqil was the cousin of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And in these nights, he had traveled all the way to Kufa. Now, when the heart is being called towards responsibility, to hold a message of truth, to be responsible with the truth, and that to be wise with the truth, it's not easy. When you are called and you are tested, it's easy when 12 to 17,000 people are with you. It's very easy. Sincerity is not hard. When my belief is being shared by others. But what happens when all of Kufa deserts you? What happens? So Brother Abbas was standing on his own. And he's walking around in the streets of Kufa. And all of us, we promised him. We said, you know what? Come. We're with you. Come. Everyone here is with you. Some narrations say 18,000. But then Brother Abbas finds himself walking on the streets alone. His loneliness marks the one thing. It reveals the nearness of Allah in his heart. Because when you stand alone, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَى. If my supplicator, my servant, asks you, O Muhammad, about me, tell them I am near. Allah is near to all of us. He's near to you and to me. But do we feel that? Do we feel that representation? Where is Allah in your heart? Where is Allah's address in your own heart? When the world leaves you, you get divorced, your kids are not listening to you, you have problems in business, your health is going down the drain, and you have multiple problems in your life. Some of us, we begin to doubt, where's Allah? How come He's not doing what He needs to do? I'm right here. I'm asking you, I'm supplicating day and night. Salatul Layl. I'm doing the extra prayers, but you're not answering me. Why? Why aren't you answering me? And then sometimes, what happens? The world starts to call me. Shave. start to dress in certain ways. I need to stick out. I need attention. I start to post on social media. I start to do things I shouldn't be doing. Islamically, I know it's wrong, but my heart is connected, it's attached. How do I detach the heart? How do I do that? How do I go towards you, O Allah? How do I do that? The first verse that I mentioned, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. Allah's close to you. He's very close. He's not far. I'm going to give you two other verses to show you how close He is. But we're going to go through a little bit with Muslim ibn Aqil. So as he's traveling, and then he draws near, Allah is always close. As my sister mentioned before me, وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا. Rely on Allah and He's all you need. Because when the people left Muslim ibn Aqil, they couldn't take his heart. They may have taken his body, but they couldn't take his heart. Because his heart is firm. His identity is intact. He knows who he is. Principle over fear, regardless of what you call on me. It doesn't matter what you're going to do to me. It doesn't matter. So now, Muslim is walking. They come to him. Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, who became literally, in terms of over Medina, he was given over Kufa. He was given that right because Nu'man couldn't handle the pressure. He didn't want to be that ruthless. So he calls on Ubaydullah. Now Muslim had an opportunity to actually, in the house of Hani, he had an opportunity to take his life, Ibn Ziyad, to be preemptive. You hear about preemptive wars and these kinds of things. Muslim had an opportunity. He says, this is not the way of Ahlul Bayt. We don't do that. We're not preemptive. The person has to commit the wrong before what? We act. This is the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Imam Hussein is not just for us. Imam Hussein is for everyone. He is the flag bearer of truth. That's why we commemorate Ashura. So now, Muslim is walking. And now the people, they get together. They get together in a little, because Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad said there's on the outskirts of the city, now there's an army. And now fear strikes the heart. So Brother Abbas, when he's standing alone, fear strikes the heart. And now everybody's sitting and talking. And they're saying now there's an army coming. What's going to happen to your heart if you know an army is coming? What's going to happen to your imagination when fear is about to enter your heart? There's a difference. Now you're going to be tested. It's very easy to sit here in safety. It's very easy. But there was about 10 people left. They got together in the middle of the night, and Muslim ibn Aqil was with them. Then they all left. Then Muslim ibn Aqil was standing like Brother Abbas by himself in the middle of the night, going around the city of Kufa. Now the loneliness sets in. You and your heart. وَاعْلَمُوا. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Take it to the first verse. وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. You want to see how close Allah is to you? He's not just near. He's closer to you than your own jugular vein. So they may cut your jugular vein, but they can't cut your connection to Allah. That heart, when it's fused properly, when Muslim ibn Aqil's heart is fused properly by identity in who he is, you cannot sever that. It's impossible. no matter what you do to him, it's impossible to sever that connection. So now, Muslim ibn Aqil is walking around and he finds someone who has a little bit of a heart. And she sees him, and now he's thirsty. So the first Karbala was in Kufa. There was a second Karbala, which was in Karbala. The first Karbala was the thirst of Muslim ibn Aqil. When you're tried in that way, it's not easy. So now, Allah Azza wa Jal is talking to you and me inside that heart. There's another voice inside the heart. The third verse, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ. Know that Allah is in between you and your heart. Now I ask you one question. Where's that space between you and your heart? Where is that? Is there a space between you and you? There is no space. They're one thing. Allah is closer to you than your own self. Ponder on that tonight. Allah is closer to me than my own self. How? Let's see how. Let me give you an example. And please, if you don't take anything from this presentation, take this. Just go with me in your mind, just for about 2 minutes. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's go into your imagination. Build a world right now in your imagination. And if you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. Build that world right now. There's a person inside your own imagination. They're on the side of a mountain. Imagine this with me. They're on the side of a mountain. They're walking. They get to a side of the mountain, they slip inside your own imagination. They fall, they're hanging onto a branch. They call upon you. I'm in your imagination. Help me. Help me. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. In that imagination, that dependency is on who? That whole imagination is on you. Can it be separated from you? It can't. Allah Azza wa Jal in that way is like that with us. It's impossible to separate Allah from that help. Now, Brother Abbas, we all stood up with you and we helped you. That awkwardness slowly drifted away from you. So now, that person in your mind, in that imagination, you send him someone. Brother, what's your name? What's your name? Muhammad, Sayyid Muhammad. Let's give him a loud salawat. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Brother Abbas, I have to ask you to stand up again. Okay? So Brother Abbas, in my imagination, has fallen. I, in my own imagination, send Brother Muhammad to Brother Abbas. When I send him, he picks him up, and what does he do? He removes him from the danger. Then Brother Muhammad says to Brother Abbas, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yes." And Brother Abbas is so thankful. "Thank you so much. Where did you come from? I don't know where you came from. Subhanallah. How did this happen?" And he starts to become thankful. But you know what he does? He thanks Brother Muhammad. He doesn't see through Brother Muhammad to the ultimate source. And he doesn't realize that Brother Muhammad is a resource. He's not the actual source. So if you can sit, thank you. We have to do the same thing. So when Brother Muhammad is smiling at me, smile at me, you're smiling at me, I can see Allah giving me that warm feeling in my heart. It's Allah smiling at me. It's Allah giving me. It's Allah taking care of me. That's how close He is. Any resource that you have is directed back to the source, which is Imam Hussein alayhi salam, his understanding. It's going back to who? To Allah Azza wa Jal. When you understand that through the Imam, his way, his principle, his understanding, we now get to see the gate. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is the gate. Imam Ali is the gate to the city. And the city takes us to who? To Allah. When you can start to see that, what happens? You start to see the verses. You start to see the hadith. أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها والحسن بابها والحسين بابها. This is when we start to understand that this is the path. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. But the path is not just for you and me. The path is the path of truth. You have to find your way there. The truth is what we try to align. This is what we try to get to. When we understand this, this is where the heart becomes alive. But when we are trying to get to Allah Azza wa Jal, imagine that imagination. Imagine what the mountain is made up out of. It's in your own imagination. Imagine what Brother Abbas is made up out of. He has fallen, flesh and bones. Who fashioned all that in that imagination? It's you. This is Allah's position with us, like I mentioned. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. How close? How close is Allah to you? Al-Hablul Wareed. Between you and your heart, there is no closeness more than to Allah. That intimacy that you feel. Now, how do you know? How do you know that you have that attachment? You have it. And how do we know that we are not attached? How do we know? How do you know if you're truly attached to Allah and maybe you're not attached to ego? How do you know? How do we know? Tell me. This is the difference between the person who really ascends and the person who's trying. Now there's two forms. And I'm going to take you there, inshallah. Hopefully I have the time. But at the end of the day, Muslim ibn Aqil is now by himself. The only nearness he has now is Allah Azza wa Jal. There's nothing left. It's him and him as he's wandering around. And now his loneliness shows his nearness to who? To the source. To Allah Azza wa Jal. وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. This tawakkul, when the fear hits, you will know who you are. In the Quran it says, وَإِذَا أَلْقَى عَلَيْهِمْ مَوْجًا. They're in the middle of the sea and the ocean comes alive. And when the ocean comes alive, you lose control of the ship. Because the ship now is moving left and it's moving right. And you lost all control and ability to maneuver over your own self. Allah says, I save them. But when I save them, they forget. This is a point of ghafla. لَقَدْ كُنْتَ فِي غَفْلَةٍ مِّنْ هَذَا. The second we forget about Allah is the second we start to see people as the source. We start to see money as the source. We start to see beautification of secular society as the source. When I point and I want attention from others, I start to realize that what? I'm losing that responsibility. And when someone like Allah Azza wa Jal hands you the ability to choose, He gives you the ability. And He says, you choose. You set your own destiny. That, when Allah hands you that responsibility of choice, He's handing you responsibility. And that responsibility requires discipline. And what is discipline? Discipline is the ability to say no to me, to that desire, to that temptation, to tell the self no. The second you can do that, and I'm living within my own self, and the temptation comes, but my will is too strong, I'm too capable, and I tell the self no, I become like Muslim. I'm not going to be subservient to the money, to the beautification of the world. I'm not going to do that. What I become is something different, because now I'm loyal to my principles, to my values, to who I am as a person. So now, Muslim can go to Ubaidullah and say, look, listen, I'm with you. He can flip to the other side very easily. They would have gave him everything because he was known as a warrior. But in that moment, you have to make a choice. When the world leaves you, do you stand with your own values and principles? Do you? So now let's apply it to us. How many of you here are in business? Really quickly. Some of you in business. How many of you are in business? Okay, lawyers. I know we got a lawyer there. Okay, you got to raise your hand. Okay. How many of you are architects? Give me some different, just shout out real quick, some different industries you guys are in. Give me some different industries. Carpentry. Man, you guys got to talk to me. You got to talk to me. Come on, talk to me. Okay? Let's make it interactive. Let's live together. This is not my presentation. This is us as a whole, as a community. At the end of the day, I'm going to leave it there. But at the end of the day, you have a choice. It's your choice. When that temptation comes to you and starts to call you, tomorrow I will talk about what happens when the temptation comes. In the imagination, how it feeds the desire. And when that desire starts to take you over and push you towards that temptation. That's not easy. We all go through it. But how do you take the power of anger and unleash it on that desire? How do you stand and unleash the power of your imagination and give it the ability to say no? Tomorrow I will talk about that. But now, in this moment when you are standing alone and you're standing in the mirror, and now I'm about to put on my garb. I'm coming to the masjid. And I have a choice. Do I put on the hijab? Do I put an earring in my ear? Do I do things that I shouldn't be doing? Do I care about my image in front of others? Do I care about my reputation? Do I care about my last name? Do I care? Or I don't care? It doesn't matter what my father says. It doesn't matter what my mother says. It doesn't matter. Because I am in control. And I promise you, these days, by the way, and I'm sorry for the youth, you guys are extremely smart. Extremely smart. We've never seen smarts like this in terms of modern history. You guys have access to everything. Everything is in your hands. But you know what you've been cut off from? The wisdom of your parents. The wisdom of your grandparents. The wisdom of your last name that you represent properly. Don't forget about these things, because the world is going to call you. But it's very easy to get on ChatGPT and ask it questions. It's very easy. Do you think you have the wisdom to apply that information? You're kidding yourself. You need the wisdom of the elders. You need it. Don't fool yourself. It's one of the hardest things now to raise children. It's one of the hardest things to do. And I'm talking to the parents. And we have to wake up. We have to. Bring them to the masjid. Tomorrow this should double. If you're doing your job, tomorrow's attendance should double. We all have to come together. All of us. and especially towards the youth. Especially towards the youth. It's extremely important because it's very easy now to deviate. It's very easy to go somewhere else. It's very easy to do the wrong things. It's extremely easy. Everything's in your hands. But please, to the youth, please use your youth the right way. Ask the right questions. Connect to your parents. I get a lot of complaints from parents. My kid just sits in the room for like 17, 18 hours a day. They don't come out of the room. That's not the way we should be. But at the end of the day, I don't have my phone with me. But that phone is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. It's closer to you than your own jugular vein. That phone is closer to you sometimes than Allah Azza wa Jal. It's gotten to a point now, well, even people will ask it, like in terms of the religion, they'll ask it about certain things that you cannot ask a phone. You can't. You need the wisdom of a scholar. They've studied years upon years upon years to be able to answer your questions so you can stay on that sirat. That's more community. But now, the last two things I'm going to give you. Muslim ibn Aqil has now a choice. In the Quran it says, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. You were only commanded to uphold the religion and have that sincerity towards it. Now there's a difference between ikhlas, mukhlis, wa mukhlas. There's a difference. In the Quran it says, okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and this is talking to Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. And where Prophet Yusuf, when Zulaykha came to him, the temptation is there. The temptation is calling you. And she even covered certain things. She said, the God is not looking. She put a veil on the statue. Think about that. But God's everywhere. If a God's inside your heart, وَكَذَلِكَ. In terms of the Quran, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, كَذَلِكَ لِنُصْرِفَ عَنْهُ السُّوء. To push away that indecency. إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُخْلَصِينَ. Mukhlasin, meaning he is chosen by Allah. When you have ikhlas, you have this sincerity, when the temptation comes and you can resist, it's your heart trying to tell you, stay close to Allah. Stay near to Allah. But the temptation sometimes is too strong. It's too strong. But you're fighting for that sincerity to submit to Allah and not the temptation. When you submit to Allah, you're going towards dignity, honor, respect. When you submit to your temptation, you're moving towards humiliation. Bottom line. But Yusuf, alayhi salam, in terms of that example, stayed strong. He was from the chosen. Mukhlas, meaning that he was chosen by Allah. Meaning now that Allah is pushing away indecency. Not that Yusuf was pushing away indecency. It's Allah pushing away indecency from him because he's protected. That's what we have to be. When we get so close to Allah and we know, and when we say, Alhamdulillah, that Brother Abbas, Allah sent me someone. When I'm in my worst situation, Allah sends me someone. And I believe in that. The second I do that, my heart comes alive. Something happens to me that's different. And then when I practice this and I keep this moving, Allah will eventually choose me and He will protect me. That's how close Allah is to us. We just have to realize that. And then when I see someone smiling at me, I see Allah sending that smile. When I can look at your face and I look at any one of your beautiful faces, brother, smile. Okay. Smile, Muhammad. Okay. Kareem, smile. Okay. Sayyidina, smile. Smile, just smile. See, you just smile. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing to do. But I know through that smile, Allah sees me, understands me. When you realize that, your connection starts. Just see behind the smile. See that. And then hopefully Allah Azza wa Jal will protect you. Because one of his names is the protector. Let's hold on to that. Because Muslim in his last moments, he asks for one thing. One thing. What does he say? They capture him. He's on the roof. He's in the actual house. They capture him. Now they bring him to Ubaidullah. And now he's talking to him. And Ubaidullah even offers him things, worldly matters. He says, I will never recant. My principle's too strong. I will never recant. You know what he asks for? The only thing he asks for. Thank you so much. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Muslim asks if he can do a 2 rak'ah prayer. That's it. That's all he asks for. Because the heart is connected. You can never sever that connection to Allah if the heart is mukhlas. Meaning Allah's chosen you. He's protecting you. No matter what happens, you can lose all your money. You can lose all your relationships. You can lose anything. You're fulfilled and satisfied in the heart. Emotional richness is better, much better. You can't even put it in the same scale as financial richness. Emotional richness is what we need to go after. That is the key. But some of us, we trade that because we want the world in such a way that makes us remove that fulfillment. So smile. And the next time you smile at any one of your brothers, know that Allah is talking to you. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.